In Deuteronomy 28, verses 45 and 46, it says, moreover, all these curses shall come upon thee and shall pursue thee and overtake thee, till thou be destroyed, because thou hearkenedest not unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to keep his commandments and his statutes, which he commanded thee, and they shall be upon thee for a sign and for a wonder, and upon thy seed forever. So the Most High knew that people would lie and try to steal our identity, but the curses are a sign of who his people are. And we don't celebrate the fact that we were put under the curses. But the point is, it's a sign that tells who we really are. So we are going to go over some of these curses. And if there is any group of people who say they are Israelites, but they don't fit these curses, then we know that they are liars and they are of their father, the devil. In Deuteronomy 28:36, it says that God is sending us to a nation that neither we or our fathers have known.
So we know we are not going back to the physical Egypt because our fathers were familiar with Egypt in the days of Abraham. And especially when Jacob and his 12 sons dwelt there when Joseph was in rulership in Egypt. So the Most High is sending us to a different place to be punished for breaking his commandments. And Deuteronomy 28:64 says the Lord will scatter us among all people from one end of the earth to the other.
Egypt is also referred to as the house of bondage several times in the Bible.
So we are going back into slavery, which is going to fulfill the prophecy in Deuteronomy 28:68, which says, and the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships. By the way whereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again, and there ye shall be sold unto your enemies.
For bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy you. Which means no one will redeem or save us. And here we are 400 plus years later, and we never received reparations, and surely nobody has ever came to save us, which is further proof of who we truly are.
Deuteronomy 28:48 says we would have yokes of iron around our necks.
Deuteronomy 28:37 says, and thou shalt become an astonishment, a proverb and a byword among all nations, whither the Lord shall lead thee. And here are some examples of a byword.
We call them colored people.
You guys are called African Americans.
They called us Negroes, monkeys, and coons.
To make things a little easier for us, we now just call them Black Americans.
In the mafia, we call them Moulinian, or Mouli for short.
You're not a man, you're a boy! Get out of here!
You are a jigaboo! Yes, I said it!
We can't do it as openly anymore, but we still like to call them the N-word, also known as
And what other group of people are known by so many bywords? And we know that the N-word is one of, if not the most controversial word on earth. It's similar to a famous quote, but everybody wants to be Israel, but nobody wants to go through the curses.
It's time for us to make a whole lot of money.
Please help us. We don't want to leave our parents and family.
Deuteronomy 28:32 says, thy sons and the daughters shall be given unto another people. And thine eyes shall look and fail with longing for them all the day long, and there shall be no might in thine hand.
I'm taking your wife for the night, and there is nothing you can do about it.
Deuteronomy 28:30 says we will have a wife and another man will lie with her.
Y'all better hurry up and build my new house. Y'all are so lazy.
Deuteronomy 28:30 says we will build houses, but we will not live in them.
I don't care how old or young you are, and you better get in that field and get to work.
In Deuteronomy 28:49 through 50, it says, "The Lord shall bring a nation against thee from far from the end of the earth, as swift as the eagle flieth. A nation whose tongue thou shalt not understand. A nation of fierce countenance, which shall not regard the person of the old, nor show favor to the young."
I regret to inform you that we have denied you for this bank loan.
Okay, thank you for your time. Deuteronomy 28:43 through 44 says, "The stranger that is within thee shall get up above thee very high, and thou shalt come down very low. He shall lend to thee, and thou shalt not lend to him. He shall be the head, and thou shalt be the tail." So this is a clear example of why, for the most part, we always have to go to other people for loans and financial assistance.
Deuteronomy 28:29 says, "And thou shalt grope at noonday as the blind gropeth in darkness, and thou shalt not prosper in thy ways. And thou shalt be only oppressed and spoiled evermore, and no man shall save thee." So we know that we have been constantly oppressed in this country, whether it was through slavery or Jim Crow laws or police brutality or systemic racism. I mean, I can go on, but we know that oppression is a part of our punishment while being in this country.
Jeremiah 17:4 says, "And thou even thyself shalt discontinue from thine heritage that I gave thee. And I will cause thee to serve thine enemies in the land which thou knowest not. For ye have kindled a fire in mine anger, which shall burn forever." We have been in captivity several times in the Bible, but this is the first time that we lost our identity as a people. And you can't find another group of people on earth where the majority of them have been confused about who they are and where they came from. The fact that we are waking up as a people is more biblical proof that we are living in the last days.
Song of Solomon chapter 1 verses 5 through 6 says, "I am black, but comely, O ye daughters of Jerusalem, as the tents of Kedar. As the curtains of Solomon, look not upon me, because I am black, because the sun hath looked upon me. My mother's children were angry with me. They made me the keeper of the vineyards, but mine own vineyard have I not kept." The reality is the Bible is the history book of so-called Black people, and the world hates it, but they will have no choice but to accept it.
For those of us in the truth, we know Revelation 2:9 and 3:9 exposes liars. And we know in Luke 21:24, the Messiah said, "And they shall fall by the edge of the sword and shall be led away captive into all nations, and Jerusalem shall be trodden down of the Gentiles until the times of the Gentiles be fulfilled." So we know that the Gentiles are in Jerusalem right now. So we just need to do our best to keep the commandments and trust the Most High Yah and the Messiah. And remember 2 Chronicles 7:14, which says, "If my people which are called by my name shall humble themselves and pray and seek my face and turn from their wicked ways, then will I hear from heaven and will forgive their sin and will heal their land." All praises to the Most High.